Oh, I am live right now. Moderation helps everyone feel safe. No, I don't have any moderators. Holy shit, I'm back on YouTube. What's going on, everybody? If you've never seen me before, you're like, what is this dude doing with this weird backdrop and this little cast iron gas stove and what are those? Murano, crystal, and marble lamps. All that shit's for sale on my eBay store. Actually, I'm shipping those lamps out when I get done with this video. But uh, I used to upload something to social media every day, a video of me where you can see my face talking, documenting a bunch of government corruption and just things that were happening in my life. And I have been doing that a lot lately. I'm been in West Virginia, living in a 100-year-old house, this one, and trying to keep this house from falling down. I mean, it's not going to fall down. It's got good bones. It's just a lot. I'm still being targeted. I still go through organized stalking harassment every single day. That's how my day started this morning. I had a couple. This is a street theater skit. It's not organic. Just about 8 o'clock, 8:01 actually. Right on the side of my house, just yelling and screaming. I go out there and the guy's got the chick like by her shirt, like kind of looks like he's shaking her or something. And then I just yelled. I was like, hey, get the fuck out of here. And dude wanted to take his shirt off and run at me at my front porch. So I just grabbed something with a handle to prepare myself, and then the dude took off. So I actually called 911 this morning. I don't call the police very often. I have a few times recently because I'm working on something, and anyway. But I just quit calling them a long time in Arizona. It's way different here in West Virginia. Still similar things, but it appears that there are more critical thinking skills being used by some people involved in law enforcement and certain groups around here. Maybe like, yeah. So anyway, it's still going on, but different, and there's more good people here. So that that showed me there's a difference when you're a targeted individual. You know, most likely on the Department of Homeland Security watch list through the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, FISA Section 702. If you're one of my subscribers here, that you've been here with me since 11/11 of 2017, when I decided to start documenting what they were putting me through. You were like, Mike, you repeat yourself so much. I'm like, it's kind of how you have to do it. I owned an insurance agency for 5 years, and I had to repeat the same shit. You guys worked at the airport or a place you got to repeat stuff all day, grocery store. It's just, yeah, you just got to do that with people, because a lot of people, this is brand new to them. Anyway, okay, so one of the reasons, speaking of me documenting this whole thing of being a targeted individual, trying to make it through this and trying to get laws changed and network and meet people that can make that happen through social media and in person. This is what I've been doing since 11/11/2017. Well, I went some interesting ones. Anyway, before I go off on a tangent, one of the reasons I made this video is because I got some pretty good proof that, I want to say this the right way, I got some amazing proof that somebody intentionally contacted one of my best friends in the military that I worked with my whole career. That's a 31-year retired E8 senior master sergeant. You can only go one more higher enlisted, and then it's officers after that. Um, I called him last night. He still lives in California. And we talked for hours and hours. I don't even remember what time I went to bed last night. But he thought that I was mad at him because an account that named themselves Miguel Barbender, like, I never had an account named Miguel Barbender, but Barbender is like the name of my YouTube channel. It's just like a joke. One of my buddies called me Barbender a long time ago. My last name is Barden, right? Barbender. Miguel, Michael. So somebody made a fake account, right? They contacted Tim and they were having a conversation with him, telling him that I had purchased lakefront property in Texas and that everything was good and I'm having a good old time and whatever. And then all of a sudden I just went silent. And he thought that I was just like mad at him or something like that. And who knows what else they said to him, because me and this guy see eye to eye about just about everything. They could have been, just telling him who fucking knows. But that's what they do to ICE. That's what's happening when people are targeted. I say veterans a lot because I advocate for veterans. I am one, and it happened to a very large percentage of us. So anyway, damn it, I lost my train of thought. God, I wish I could rewind this thing. I haven't been on here in so long, you guys. I'm sorry that, I just lost a bunch of people. Went from 30 to 23. But anyway, yeah, back on track, okay. I haven't talked to that guy in 12 years. He probably would have called me to like check on me to see how I was doing or whatever. So how many other people did they do that to isolate me from my social network? So I don't have friends at the ready that I've had for a long time that think that I'm angry with what they don't want to talk to me or whatever. Yet I'm being blocked from them. People are making fake accounts and having conversations with my old friends. Yeah, that's happening to a lot of people. And tax dollars have paid for that. I'm gonna check the comments here. I'm sorry. What's good? There, actually here, there's a lot good. There's a lot good. Got a house, got a truck, got a cat, got a dog, making a garden, typical shit. That's all stuff for sale on eBay right there. I just sold those lamps. I was talking about that earlier. I look like I'm trying to live in like a Gothic castle or something like that. But like this chair was given to me at a job I was doing. That fireplace is the original fireplace. I should check this shit out. That's the original fireplace. And this house was built in 1921. This house, there's 3 of those in this place. It's crazy. And I got this house for close to the amount that my truck was. And my truck, yeah, it's public record. This house was $35,000, but it was trashed when I got it. Like literally 3 dump trucks full of stuff I had to take to the landfill. Carpet, tiles. It's a long story. It's been 2 years nonstop, so I won't put you through all that since this isn't this old house. Dude, if somebody spells Michael wrong, if that's the worst thing that happens all day. Yeah, no, you can spell my name however you want. I do not care. You can call me Miguel or Michael or dude, or I don't care. Yeah. As long as you're not out on my front lawn with your pit bull or on my, I shouldn't say on my front lawn, come to my house to mess with me. Yeah, pretty much. Other than that, I got thick enough skin to not be offended by everything. So I actually got some proof of isolation tactics. So I guess I'm just kind of doing this video just in case they actually have switched up FISA to target actual domestic terrorists. I mean, they're still putting me through a bunch of this shit, but that doesn't mean that somebody isn't working on things. And I don't think I would have made it this far if I wouldn't have had like some help from some of you and people on Twitter, buying stuff at my eBay store, and just some other help that I've had along the way. That I would have been just toast. About been out there in the bushes, nothing you can do. So I'm very thankful for that. But it's getting kind of bad though. Like I'm so worn out physically, and my brain is still very sharp, but I'm fatigued. That's what it is. It's like battle fatigue, or just like too much of anything fatigue. You know, you've been at a job for 17 years, you get fatigued. But this is like extra. If any of you are targeted individuals, which I know some of the people who watch this are, and then all the feds out there that do this to us, and the ones that I might be trying to help us, because I know it's compartmentalized, and some of y'all don't like each other and you go after you. Yeah, so I hope good guys win in that whole thing, or it just gets all completely changed. So, but yeah, I sent my buddy a bunch of interviews that I've done, and he didn't know anything about, that I've been on all these talk shows with like former CIA, FBI, NSA, whistleblowers, that I've sworn affidavits on record in Maricopa County Court from a couple of those people. That the cartel was like shooting at my house, along with probably there were just some city and state people that were involved in a lot of that stuff in Arizona too. But he didn't know anything about that, and he was, of course, surprised. But anyway, it was a good conversation. Have those of you who are targeted individuals, like, what is your experience over the last, say, year? Has it ramped up? Is it kind of like, because I've noticed a decline. Like once U.S. aid got shut down, I noticed it was almost like an immediate decline. But it's still happening. There's like definitely like people straggling, and I think, yeah, I'm definitely experiencing it on a pretty large level. Cars, people at stores, where I'm at, repeating my personal information, using neuro-linguistic programming to fuck with your head. So that's still going on, and we already proved that the MMPI, the Minnesota Multiphasic Inventory, is skewed, and whoever wrote that definitely doesn't know any history about the East German Stasi and Zersetzung. That means decomposition or erosion. Or they know, and that's their lawfare part of it, right? Their lawfare part of it, where they say anybody that catches on, we're just going to call them crazy, and that way they have no standing in court ever again, and then they can control you for life, put you on different medications that you don't want to be on, and all kinds of different stuff. So that's one of the deep state tactics that they will try on targeted individuals. I've seen some, nobody that, you're interrupting my podcast, Gato. It's Gato, what's your name? Gato Emilio de Naranja. Jennifer Burns, you can't believe it's still happening. Me either. Yeah, it's, so aren't you in California? Or if I remember correctly? Or if you want to say, because that's where it started for me. Hold on one second. Sabrina Wallace. I think I've heard of Sabrina Wallace, but I'll look up Sabrina Wallace. I have some things to do today. I'm gonna try to stay indoors the rest of the day, just because. Be good. I don't know. I have a bunch of work I have to do inside. But yeah, after that thing this morning, the guy was about to take his shirt off, run over here and try to fist fight me, and he's like, "I know where you live, motherfucker," and all this stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. That's why I put my name in capital letters, all like right and big in front of my house. So I know you know where I live. Came here on purpose. I'm not stupid." So I still remember the laws and codes against this. If anybody has forgotten, it's they're violating your constitutional right to peace, freedom, violating U.S. Code 18, Section 241 or 242, deprivation of rights under color of law, and conspiracy against rights. Also, stalking is U.S. Code 2261A. In case you want to write those notes down and hand people a little card and stuff like that. I'm one of your heroes. It's kind of weird to hear. Like, I don't even know how to take that. I'm just trying to make them fucking stop. But thank you. I guess I gotta get good at taking compliments. Appreciate that. Pretty tired today. But from the long term, I think that's kind of why I'm documenting this right now, so people can kind of see my state and how I've deteriorated over time since I started this, like my facial structure and stuff like that, and my body, like my weight loss, and I'm down pretty low right now as far as that goes. But that's just part of it. Like you see, if you've ever done any kind of research on PTSD and like the effects of war on soldiers, and you can see like what they look like when they were like 17 when they went in the Marine Corps when they started, and then when they're like 28 after years of battle, and they're just like look like a completely different person. So because I really don't even want to I don't want to say I don't want to be on here doing this, but I kind of had to like talk myself into doing it because it seems like I'm just so repetitive. There's nothing more to explain or figure out. We figured out everything, like where the money comes from and like who's involved, and contacted all the people. Like I literally have met public representatives at Trump rallies and given them information. That's on one of my old videos. Andy Biggs, I met that guy, explained to him about the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court and how it was weaponized against United States citizens and just everyday citizens. Some soccer moms, some people that had somebody connected that wanted the kids in a divorce, or like there's so many random ass reasons how people ended up on this thing they do. So why did the guy want to fight you? I woke up this morning as people were yelling. So it's a repetitive thing when you're a targeted individual. They, if you're tired, they want to wake you up. If you're, it's just whatever is most inconvenient for you. So I talked to my buddy, the senior master sergeant, 31-year Air Force veteran, senior master sergeant, till I forgot what time last night. So I stayed up later than I should have, maybe had one extra beer, and I was trying to sleep in before I get my stuff done. And they're out there yelling, and I go out there and the guy's got the chick, and they're yelling and screaming, and they would have stayed out there and yelled and screamed until I came out to tell them to shut the fuck up. And that's exactly what I did, because I'm not going to be nice about that. Yesterday, there was a guy sitting up here on my front porch, on my stairs. Like I just posted on X that video, and I'm, if that happened every once in a while and it was an organic event, it wasn't people doing this intentionally to crowd and invade your space. It's what they do. And if it wasn't that, then I would be like more friendly about it. Like, hey, what's going on, man? You need a water? You hot? Whatever. Like, um, but also that guy, I told him to get the fuck out of here and never come back to my in front of my house at all. If you're gonna sit here, he's like, I'm just waiting for my friend, like in directly in front of my fucking house, early in the morning. You're making these dogs bark over here, which is why I looked out here. So you're like over here, you don't live here. He's like waiting to pick up fucking whatever. I don't know. So I'm not being friendly anymore. So it's like they think that they're getting a reaction, like they're getting me to like lose my shit, but so they're trying to push it on a little bit more, but I'm not. I'm just not taking the time to have this conversation or do this little stupid dance with these people and try to get them out of here politely. No, it won't. Many have traveled. Traveled like as a Freemasonry? That's what they ask you. Are you saying there's a lot of Freemasons that do this? Um, the Freemason that parks in front of my house with his food truck sometimes, he's got a Freemason license plate on there. I'm cool with him. I don't like got into it with that guy or anything. I talked to him. But yeah, he asked me, are you, because I mentioned some stuff about Freemasonry, because I know quite a bit about it. And he said, you a traveling man? Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not a Freemason. Been to y'all's lodges, though. Went and checked them out. A couple. Reading. Let's see, Griffith says, would it all stop if you moved to another country? Nah, I'll die for this one if I have to. But like General Patton said, well, just look up that comment. I'm not going to say that on here. Now, I was born and raised here. This is my country. Fuck, go down with the ship if... Don't think that's the case, though. Hopefully, there is a gold lining to this whole thing and everything gonna be okay. Your name is Legendary Ukrainian Warrior. So you're a warrior from the former country of Khazaria that turned into the Ukraine when the Khazarian mafia was kicked out the 109th time to Israel. Is that like do you understand that that's the history of Ukraine? Like Ukraine used to be Khazaria. So, but you're targeted. That's true. That's crazy. That's crazy. So you're either targeted or you're just somebody on here perping me with that name. But you know, you won't take that personally if you're a targeted individual because that's how your thought process would go also. So, you know, if as I say that, you're like, oh, that makes sense that you would think that. But you've noticed a decline. Come to visit you, but you made it very clear, don't show up no matter how. Yeah. I mean, if I don't fucking know you, do not come to my house. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like if like you have my phone number or we know each other, I know your name. But no, I don't want any random people who I've never met coming to my house ever. Yeah, that's kind of insane. Griffith says, what a nightmare the average person would fold. I mean, I thought I was pretty average back in the day, apparently. I mean, maybe I'm just, you know, got it. Yeah, it was really weird when I was a kid, an adult when I was a little kid. And I really can't remember where we were, but it was a doctor or a male nurse or something. And they told me that I have an amazing tolerance for pain. And I was like, I don't even know you. How would you know that I have a what? I'll never forget that guy saying that. I'm like, okay, so yeah. Anyway, that's a whole nother talk show. Or no, it's not. That's this one. This is the Michael Barden. YouTube channel. Yes, that was really cheeky guy sitting on your porch. Yeah, yeah. Like, could you imagine processing in your head that like you're gonna go to a neighborhood that you don't live, like walk into somebody's neighborhood and then just go up and be like this house, I'm gonna just plop myself down right here, right next to this dude's truck, and just make myself comfortable. So, guess I gotta put up a wall. I've built miles of fence, so. You think some people have no respect anymore? Actually, yeah, no, a lot of people just don't have respect anymore, and it's just like an organic thing that has happened through society. So they're primed to be offended by literally everything and like try to create situations to be offended by just to gaslight you with their like narrative that they want to run. And that's, I'm speaking about every ethnicity, because I say some things that are used about certain ethnicities, like fatigue, like that one, and offended by everything, ashamed of nothing. I've seen quite a bit of that here, but again, here it's mostly white people and black people. There's a few different ethnicities around here. The influx of Mexicans last week, actually, that wasn't natural because they just happened to show up at the store right when I'd go to the store, right when I was talking about, the cartel and what they did to me and my family, how they work with politicians in Arizona, and even infiltrated, through our politicians, like infiltrated the police forces and shit. And so, yeah, pretty big deal. So they had Mexicans follow me. Like, you'd never see a Mexican on the west side. I would notice. I'm from California, lived in Arizona for 9 years, and was married to a Mexican for 9 years. So, Mexicana. Muy bonita Mexicana. Anyway. So that's, I'm trying to think of, there's something pretty much every day. A lot of the targeting that I've been experiencing here will be like I'm being isolated, because you have to use the internet to connect with people and stuff like that. And I think that they can shadow ban you on pretty much anything on the internet. Nothing is secure, safe, or going to treat you fairly. So I think that's one of the things they're doing, is shadow banning me and getting me job quotes, and we're not getting me, like I get them myself. People will contact me. I do my own marketing, my own networking, all that shit. I hand out cards to almost everybody I meet. I have like a business card. That's one of the ways of targeting me, is having people hire me that will just make life hell. So I'm like, my number's on there, so it just shows like a before and after picture, and then of a bathroom remodel I did, and that's just a porch I rebuilt, and that's actually my porch. But yeah, so then you wait 6 months to a year, stain that thing. Anyway, so that's definitely happened. And I know people get quotes on jobs and stuff like that, but when there's just been a lot of wasted time and effort on things intentionally, and you can see the patterns, and they'll kind of tell you to mock you while you're doing it, to try to irritate you, to get you to be triggered. And I'm not saying that's everybody I work for, because I work for some great people. Happened to slip through the cracks and actually meet a few real people that I've worked for, so that's kind of awesome. That's going on here. The police here, when I first got here, it was like, for sure, I was on their whatever, when they look up, whatever they look up, like non-investigative subject code 4, if that's actually what comes up, or whatever the statement is that comes up on the computer, definitely on that. and they would like gaslight me, harass me, and they took part in the, kicking me out of my own house for a week. It's a long story. They tried to file a DVP on me. It was a whole fucking setup, and the whole thing got cleared. Never even showed up. So it was just they let a woman stay in my house to go through all of my stuff, get all my information, destroy whatever she wanted to destroy, hard drives. So that happened in the beginning, and it seemed like that they were definitely part of that. And a couple pretty huge street theater skits, like five or six out of 10 level street theater skits that were kind of intense, but not anywhere close to some of them that I've seen that like involved people dying in the process of their bullshit on the freeway. Yeah. Should I just tell a random story right now about that? You guys remember? Anybody remember that one? They told me there was going to be a car accident, and we were coming home. I took my daughter to a softball game. I don't know. We're driving down Highway 10, and boom, a big rig plows into like 10 cars, and they just go flying everywhere, people, and it's like, it's there, right, like across the freeway. Told my daughter, pull over. I jumped out, ran over there, and me and a bunch of other people trying to get people out of cars. Me and a cop actually were up on top of one of the cars trying to, kid's legs were just snapped underneath the seats, and he was pinned, and we were trying to use like whatever we had around as a pry bar, like a shovel, and the kid was like screaming, and his mom was like laying right over there, and she was dying on a tarp. Like, we got there before the fire department got there. It was like dust was just coming up as I was running across the street. That's and they fucking told me and did like a street theater skit like at the softball place before that, like, and it was an ice truck, not the government ice that I'm a huge fan of. Thank you guys. Jesus, I've been waiting for that for a long time. But like ice cubes. So there's like symbolism in it and stuff like that, and that was wild. If you guys never saw that one, go back. I had my phone in my pocket actually, and I don't even remember hitting record, but my phone was in my pocket the whole time, and you can hear like the people screaming and everybody, the whole deal. It was wild. So, let me read some of your comments here while I have shit to do. I have to pack up these lamps back here. Those weigh like 22 pounds each. And a lady that I work for gave them to me after I got done working on a landscape job for her, like transplanting some trees and plants and building in-ground water fountain and all kinds of shit. It's actually really cool. She was like, "Do you want these lamps? I got these in a estate sale for like $5 or something. And I'm not gonna use them anymore." I was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll take them." And then I came home and looked them up, and I just sold them for $225. So that's good, because I was about 225 in the hole. I'm not joking. Oh yeah, actually, I gotta pay my insurance before they burn this fucking house down. What happened to Andrea? Okay, that's a good question. No, I'm not saying like I don't know, but that's, oh shit, I missed a whole bunch of. Okay, here I'll just go to what happened to Andrea, and then. What happened to Andrea? I don't want to get too long story short. We started a business. She recommended, "Hey, let's do this landscape thing. I know how to do irrigation, all this stuff." And I actually learned a bunch of stuff from Andrea, and she's a hard ass worker. But the targeting and she's really pretty. and fucking smart. Like she figured out stuff, like deep stuff that like you see on the movies, like the FBI agents, stuff like they do in the movies. Waiting for them to do that in real life. It looks like they're working on it. Anyway, but I think the stress of the targeting, like, because like if you're with somebody that's targeted, of course they're going to try to do everything they can to. The stress of that got to her. Her kids were in Tennessee, and it was just kind of wasn't working 100% anymore, and so we came to a mutual agreement, and we didn't even really get into an argument. I shouldn't say not really. We didn't get into an argument. It was just like, yeah, guess now's the time. You should head back home. She's like, yeah. So, but she got a job. So I talked to her a few times after she went back, and she had got a job, and I talked to her actually on the phone a couple times, I think, and I just never heard from her anymore. So I have no idea. And I actually tried to contact her a couple times, I think, but who knows? Probably it goes to some call center. I don't know. So that's it. That's it. There's like more details, but not necessary for the explanation. Okay. I had to start wearing these glasses too. I never had to wear glasses in my life. I had 20/20 vision my entire life, but I did just turn 50. So, I mean, that's kind of when it happens. It's when people start buying you t-shirts that say, like, getting old ain't for sissies, shit like that. No one wants uninvited guests. Yeah. Well, okay, hold on. I actually don't mind uninvited guests if they're a friend of mine that we've already come to that agreement that, like, hey, bro, you can stop by any fucking time you want. Just knock on my door. There's a few people that know that they can do that. But, man, if you don't know me, man, I'm coming to my motherfucking house. Crazy ass motherfucker. So, but it's like they can't help themselves. A lot of the people are paid, with gift cards, remuneration, whatever, lightened sentences, and this and that, and whole 9 yards. However, they're paid off in a lot of different ways. They just keep doing it because they get the money. That's why Executive Order 13818 is so important. I think they're still using that, like to just. Because that's what they do to me when they target me. They make sure that I don't have any money, like only barely enough to survive. Like anytime I try to get any traction, so that's what they have to do to those motherfuckers. Is they have to take all the money away from them so they can stop attacking and enslaving citizens. I think that's what's happening. USA got canceled, and all of a sudden, all those talk shows where it's like they're clearly just like paid by the fucking government to brainwash all these people, the stupid shit that they say and do and they go along with, and it's like no individuality or nothing. It's just and then so Kimmel got canceled, other Fallon, NPR got canceled. Oh God, thank God. NPR was not good. People don't realize that it's the subtle propaganda mushing into your head. So maybe that had something to do with Executive Order 13818, with USAID shutting down and all that stuff. But there's more, so it's like, it's compartmentalized where they get all the money from. It's all these different spots. And they're like real good at hiding it and shit. In places like Act Blue, they're like, everybody donate to help the black people. And then they paid black people to loot and riot stores to like make them look terrible, and then gave all of the fucking money to Democrat politicians. I think there was a couple of Republicans, maybe. No, I think it was all Democrats. That's all legit. Like, you go to the Act Blue website and see who they give money to, and like that's where all the BLM money went. God, they fucked you guys over with that. I live in a very heavily black populated neighborhood. I don't see one gymnasium or like street sign or anything like that. Or I just see I see their flag on the abortion clinic. I see the Black Lives Matter flag on the abortion clinic 3 blocks from my house that is in a mostly black neighborhood. Wait, let me say that again. It's because it's gone through my head every time I pass by it. Most of the people, not most, a large percentage of the neighborhood that I live in, black people. The abortion clinic has a Black Lives Matter flag on. Dude, they're mocking you guys. They're fucking mocking you guys. They're like, Black Lives Matter, come in here and it's healthcare. They're trying to, I mean, man, you guys should look into that. The people that yeah. Wow. I'm gonna get going here in a minute. You guys, I have to make some food. I'm having to try to force myself to eat. I got a cannabis card, which I hate to buy back my rights that have been taken away from me, but I'm not trying to play that stupid game over it, and I don't care. I'll gladly tell people I have a cannabis card. And even though I've been using my cannabis to try to like get my appetite up, I'm having a hard time. So I'm having to like force feed myself pretty much to try to gain weight. And got some protein powder from a friend that gave it to me. That shit's too expensive to buy. She was like, "Here, eat this," like, and some biscuits and gravy. I'm trying to stretch out their manpower. Mark Davis. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling, and there's 30 of you here listening to me just kind of ramble. I appreciate that, except for the bad guys. Mark Davis. So they've been trying to stretch out their manpower. Yeah, because we have been so sensitized that. Okay, I missed that part, but I think so. I think, yeah, there's, I don't know. It does seem like it has definitely settled down a little bit, hopefully completely. And then we can live in a world where people who don't know you don't just fucking follow you around and surveil you and harass you every day to create a false narrative after you react to their bullshit when you end up beating the shit out of one of them or whatever, and then or somebody gets shot. I'm not shooting anybody, and then they immediately put it on the fake news media to create the false narrative that guns are bad and they want to take them all away from you. So it's this whole targeting thing. That's one of the main things that they're doing this for. 5 uncles and 3 aunts, 100 Ukrainian, my grandfather. Okay. I'll just, if you didn't know the history of that thing, sorry, I just, you live next to Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota. That's the Air Force base that everybody wants to get deployed to when they get out of basic training. You know that? That's security forces. Like when those guys, yeah, they get stationed at Minot. Well, if you live next to it. Yeah, it's a little cold there. There's not a whole lot going on, and they have to go guard like missile silos that have been inactive for like 50 or 60 years or some shit like that. I think that was the last I heard. I haven't been in the military for a while, so but that was the thing then. I should eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Good looking out. I'm going to do that. Thank you. Yep. I don't really like peanut butter very much. But if you put enough jelly on there, for sure. And if you put a little butter on it and put it in the air fryer, Yep. That's good. Okay, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I just kind of wanted to check in on here and just post for posterity, I guess. And keep documenting like I promised everybody I would. So I'll hop on here and update sometime. I don't know. We'll just see how things go. Oh, okay. No, I just meant, I'm sorry. Yeah. How cold it is there. That's what I meant. I misspoke. But yeah, it's apparently cold as shit there, and there's like nothing to do while you're working there. You just like guard the things. So I was a firefighter, so we were always like talking to the security force guys, the police guys. And they would always tell us shit like that. They're like, so and so has to go to Minot. B-52 is also. Oh, really? I did not know that. That was a great band. No, B-52 is an awesome aircraft. Like, it's still in service. That's amazing. Like the C-130. Yep, that's a good one. All right, y'all. It was good to see you all. I hope you're doing good, better than you were before. All my friends that were on here that would hang out when I was doing all this other stuff and helped each other study and send messages and try to figure out what the hell is going on and make it end. Appreciate y'all back then. Sorry this hasn't gone faster. Not that I have the power to do anything about it, but I sure as hell have tried. I have given it my best. So, but kind of tired now. Think I'll go home. No, I'm home. This is home. It's my shitty Forrest Gump impersonation. I'll talk to y'all later. I gotta go. Thank you.